Hello, you guys. What's up? It's Alexis, and we're back at another video. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Justin Timberlake's birth chart. I don't know if you haven't seen, but in the news, he has recently been arrested and charged with a DUI or I don't know if he got DUI, but he was charged for driving while intoxicated. And after further evidence and further time to come on, it was found out that he had not only alcohol in his system, but as well as other illicit substances allegedly. And there was also another video of him going around where he was just looking like he was on that white girl. And I was looking at his chart some days prior when he first was initially charged, and I was like, let's take a look at him and his wife's chart because I'm like, why is he crashing out so bad? And right now, Saturn is in Pisces, and he has Pisces in his seventh house. So there's been a lot of restrictions, a lot of restructuring, a lot of harsh lessons as it pertains to his relationship sector. Now, I wanted to do a Synastry reading on them too because I really don't know anything about their relationship, their dynamic, what it looks like, what it smells like, all that goodness. But let's look at it today. And as always, if you want more video suggestions, just leave them in the comments. And if you want a personalized reading from me, make sure you email me at goldenflamehealing@gmail.com. I know she's a mouthful, but this is where you're going to find me. Okay. Now to do, oh, whoa. Wait, let me do like a thumbnail. Wait, okay. That's like another gift from me. No shade. Like, no shade. I giving Butch tea. Like, I wanted to put my hat on because I never wear my hat. But I want to see if this is serving Butch tea. Apologies for technical difficulties. But, okay. Oh my god. That'd be so cute if I had a tooth gem. Stop. I was at this event this weekend and this girl was doing tooth gems, and I was like, no shade. I wanted it so bad, but I was like, girl, I need to get mine done by a dentist. No shade. So we're gonna go ahead and look at um their synastry and get into their marital business, right? And make sure y'all leave a comment, like, and share the video to get this channel popping. Period. I'm trying to get out of here. All right, we're gonna share the screen. Alrighty, let's get into it. So, right off the bat, Justin Timberlake is a Aquarius sun in the third house. Okay, he's an Aquarius sun, and I'm sorry, he's an Aquarius sun in the sixth house. Lord, please forgive me. So this outer ring is going to be Jessica Biel's chart, and this inner ring is going to be Justin Timberlake's chart. So as you see, he is an Aquarius sun in the sixth house. This gives me like workaholic. He is very dedicated when it comes to his daily habits, his daily rituals. You know, we know him as it pertains to the work that he's done over the years. And it's so interesting because he is an Aquarius sun, but it's also conjoined to his south node. So sun, south node, just aspect in a natal chart automatically gives me like you were known in a past life, you had some recognition in a past life, or you were just completing some past life cycle in this new sector of life. And what's so interesting is that he is a Leo rising. So his rising is his sun and his rising are opposing, right? So I'm sure that's a very interesting dynamic for himself. Like he feels like he needs to be in the spotlight, he needs to shine. But his Aquarius placements want him to do it in a different way, right? And even with let me see. Yeah, it's so interesting. Isn't okay, yeah. His Leo North Node right here. His North Node is actually in the 12th house. So what's interesting about this is that his North Node really is trying to get him, and his ascendant is in the first. So in this life, he is supposed to be really harnessing and investing into his spiritual life. I don't know what he does spiritually. I don't know if he's religious, but getting into his spiritual practices, whether that's meditation, whether that's yoga, whether that's just getting closer to God, understanding what God is to him in his life on a personal basis. That's where he is supposed to be focusing. Like, yes, he is working hard. He has these accomplishments and the success, which is great. But that is what his south node is conjoined to. He's supposed to get away from that and really delve into the metaphysical, right? And get into his rest and solitude and do it in a bold way when it's in Leo, right? And I have Lord North Node of Leo too. So shout out to him for that. And he has his Aquarius. Oh, I keep wanting to look over here, child. And he has a Capricorn Venus. So he is very, very grounded and he loves stability when it comes to his relationship. He values materials, he values building stability, he values climbing the corporate ladder, he really values just being a boss. He values boss like energy. He like you think about Capricorn and then the love language of Capricorn, like Capricorn's love language is like acts of service. They love doing, they love being dependable. So that's what he really loves. Let me look at my notes. Oh, and also we also know Justin Timberlake as the breakout star in Sync. Like he was started off in a group, and a lot of Aquarius placements, South Node, whatever you, they find themselves in their early lives being conjoined to a group or being conjoined to a collective. And if they have Leo placements, it's their duty to like get away from the crowd and do their own thing. So I think that's super cool that he has done that, and we know him to be like he's so Leo rising to me. Like he just has to be seen. Like Leo energy is just has to be absorbed, has to be seen, and for a long time he was loved. But right now, with a Pluto and Aquarius coming down on his sun, it's really making him think about how he's showed up and the systems in which he has thrived in that are no longer going to take place. Like he has to do a lot of rectifying with that. And it's so interesting because Pluto is in retrograde right now, and it'll retrograde into Capricorn, I believe, September or October. So it's going to be in his relationship sector, which is in his fifth house. So as it pertains to his creative ventures, his romance, his sex, children, even, and he even has Venus conjoined to his moon. So I think we'll see a lot more come out when it comes to his home sector, his relationship sector. Like this is gonna, and Pluto retrograde in Capricorn is gonna be like revisiting the past. So past things are gonna come to light and come out when Pluto goes back into Aquarius. Pluto goes back into Capricorn. So that'll be interesting to see, you know. Ciao. Okay. So blah 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 blah. He has a Chiron in Taurus. It's almost close to his MC, like what he's known for. Taurus MC, those are people who can be known to be like the boy next door kind of, and he kind of was known for that. They're known for even Taurus is like it rules the throat, like literally ruling over like singing, talking, about luxury, about food, and he's known to be a singer, right? But there's like a wound around his ability, like he doesn't feel valuable enough. Like even with it's in his ninth house, Chiron his ninth, he doesn't feel like he has a like there's wounds around his ability to feel secure as it pertains to worldly travels, his higher knowledge. Maybe he doesn't feel as smart or doesn't feel as gifted, doesn't feel as well traveled, well versed in traveling or world events and world circumstances. Maybe he doesn't feel as well versed in that. There's like a wound there. Let's see. Yeah, I kind of want to get into this stuff once we do the synastry, but now we're going to go into Jessica Biel's chart. Okay. And she is a Pisces sun. She's a Pisces sun, and her sun actually is in his seventh house of partnerships. And what is so interesting is that Saturn is in Pisces right now. So I don't know if I said this before. Maybe I did. Sorry if I did. Oops. But Saturn in Pisces is really making her have a little bit more boundaries as it pertains to who she is. Like, who she is becoming, who she is evolving, is getting some work. It's getting a little chin check with Saturn's influence. Um, and it's affecting how she's showing up in his love life, in her partnerships, especially in his, because it's his seventh house. So I feel like they're both feeling this Saturn and Pisces energy a lot. Like, it's affecting who she is. She's like having all these revelations about herself. Like, okay, who am I? Who am I in the world? And how am I showing up? That's a direct result of my input in relationships. And he is like, oh my God, like I have to really sit there and be introspective about my relationships. And there might be even like some restrictions with his partnerships as it pertains to work, because seventh house is partnerships too, business partners. Um, might be like a difficult time for him. And he's just like, he's really feeling it. And Saturn and Pisces, I saw it and I was like, girl, even if you're having these harsh lessons and you're having this restriction, you're having um these like boundaries being placed, when you're dealing with it and you have Pisces energy there is a lot of susceptibility to wanting to escape, like being escapist. And the fact that we've seen him like looking a little bit like he was under the influence is um it's pretty indicative of that Saturn energy, because Saturn is harsh. Like in Pisces, there's no room for you to just like be in your illusion, like be very like Neptunian, like oh whatever. Like Saturn is like, no girl, we're taking the rose colored glasses off, and we're seeing the shit for what it is. And it could be very difficult for both of them because they've both been, in this very like illusionary energy. So now with Saturn there, it's making them rethink and restructure these processes. And it's a little tricky, not gonna lie. As a Saturn rule person, not gonna lie. Mwah! Hope y'all good. But then what's so funny is that she has a Venus in Aquarius and he has an Aquarius Mars. So I can see right off the bat they have a very sexual chemistry, a very heightened sexual chemistry. And the fact that it's an Aquarius, it's like they feel like, okay, out of all these people, like we can see each other, we can find each other in this world. Because y'all know how it is. Like I got mad Aquarius placements, and Aquarius, I made a video about this. Like being an Aquarius placement is not for the weak, because you're just going to feel isolated a little bit. You're going to feel rejected because Aquarius is all about being disruptive. It's about, getting away from the status quo and, you know, breaking the rules and the conformity of society and authoritative figures. Like it's the rebel. So he really values that. She values that. That's like his motivation, his drive is to like be himself and show up and, um, but that's what he likes sexually. And she likes that too. She's like, oh girl, you speaking my language. And the fact that, they have this third house synastry, like I'm sure that they have a lot of intellectual banter. They have a great intellectual relationship. Like think about it. You have this connection with somebody that the sexual the sexual chemistry is good, and then you have an intellectual stimulating relationship as well. Like that's very alluring. Like that's it's good. It's good. It's great. It's like finally, like you feel like, oh my God, this person just completely gets me. And she has her Aquarius Venus in his sixth house. So maybe they met at work. I don't really know their story. Maybe someone can talk about it in the comments. I don't know. But like sixth house synastry makes me think of like being dutiful, like him showing up in the way that she values is like a job, like not like a chore, but like it's a job to him. He feels like this is a part of my routine, this is a part of my ritual. Like I feel like he even like thinking about this, maybe he was courting her hard. Like he was probably courting her really hard, and um he was really like in pursuit of her, and she was feeling that. She was like, not only are you trying to, you know, stimulate my senses intellectually, but you coming after me, you chasing after me, you showing up. Like sixth house synastry is like dutiful. Like I like that. I really do. I really do. And what's so crazy is that he got Venus in his fifth in Capricorn, and she got Capricorn South Node. Now, this isn't the worst aspect in synastry, but if you're not mature, this can feel like he holds her back in some way. And with her North Node in Cancer over here, she needs to be embracing that Cancerian energy more into this in this lifetime. Right. I guess they do have children together, I'm not sure, but like being a mother, working with women, nurturing the home, nurturing the home, those are things that she's supposed to be investing in into this lifetime. Like she has Cancer in the eighth house. Like her home life will literally transform her soul. And it's so crazy because I was like, girl, she got Cancer in the eighth house. If they divorce, I hope they don't divorce, but if they divorce, she gonna get that money. She gonna get that money. And that leads me to, so she has a Lilith in Sag with a rising in Sag. And he has a Sag moon. And the moon is all about like where we lay our head at night, our home. It's literally like our inner world. And I feel like, because Lilith in a woman's chart is like the scorned woman, like the toxic, ravaging woman. And for her, Lilith to be in Sag and on his fifth house, is it his fifth? It's kind of like on his fourth, fifth cusp. Still, this could be someone that is like, when shit goes bad, she can really expose their home life, like expose the secrets that she has for him, what really goes on behind closed doors. Yeah. And if you look over here too, so he has a Mercury in Pisces, and it's making a weird aspect to her Uranus in Sag. He's in Sag. Yeah. Like, I don't know if the communication sometimes can get volatile, it can get very weird. Like, even the fact that she has what? Like the fact that it's kind of, is it making a weird? I don't think so. But he has Pisces Mercury and she has a Sag Neptune. So I feel like there was some like illusionary factor. There was some like wooing of words to her, like that kind of like blew her head up. And Sagittarius is like expansive, and it's like freedom, like in a way that he like spoke to her mind and like freed her in some sense, but also binded her and kept her in some like illusionary, like this proverbial mental jail. Like, I don't know. I feel like he really got her. He was like saying the right things. Like she got Aquarius Mercury. He's an Aquarius sun. Like he was saying the right things to her. And they got that Mars Venus lineup. Like he was putting it down and saying the right things. And she was like, oh, I like what I'm hearing. And I'm liking what I'm seeing. I like what I'm feeling. um yeah. Like And so she has a Jupiter in Scorpio, but then he has a Lilith in Scorpio. So if some shit will go down, I feel like he would be, because Lilith is like trying to conquer and destroy and all these toxic things. Like it's trying to like think of like the toxic bitch. I feel like with the scorpionic energy on her Jupiter, like Jupiter in a woman's chart is like representing of the husband. And this Jupiter is squaring his sun in Aquarius. So like she really craves a husband or craves a partner or craves a man that has these scorpionic qualities, like very, very obsessive. Like she's like, I want you to do this for me. I want you to just show me you love me. But he's like in his Aquarius sun with Mars. He's like, girl, I'm not gonna do all that. Like, I'm gonna show you how I love you in my way, but she wants to be loved completely, like wholeheartedly. I'm sure he loves her, but she wants that, like, I'll die for you love. Like, she's a Pisces. She's like, I want you to feel, I want to feel like, yeah, we can have great conversations, great sex, but I want to feel like you're gonna die for me. And he's like, I'm JT. He's like, girl, cry me a river, right? But even what's this? Yeah, his Venus in Capricorn is squaring her. First of all, it's squaring his Venus in Capricorn, squaring all of her Libra. Like she has Saturn in Libra, Mars in Libra, Pluto in Libra. Venus square Mars. That can give like very sexual, very heightened sexuality. Like they already have good sexual chemistry, but Venus square Mars, if not afflicted nicely, that can give just like very hot and heavy, almost violent type of relationships, violent dynamics. Um, and with his Venus in Capricorn, I'm sure that he's very like, I don't know, I just heard cold in my head. Like, I'm sure that he's very like, bitch, this is my world. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I can, like, even like when when I was writing some notes, I felt like she is the type of person to kind of tell him like relax. Like Venus and Capricorn can kind of be very very demanding, like very like controlling even in a little bit. And her Mars and Libra, she just wants to like maintain harmony. She wants to just tread lightly. She wants to find the best wording when when they have like conflict or difficulty. But he can kind of be like a little bit brooding and a little bit a lot. And she's just like, whoa, like a Pisces with the Mars and Libra. She's like, bro, like, relax, relax. Um, oh, and the fact that, so she has her Pluto, she has her, what am I talking about? She has, I know, because her Jupiter is in Scorpio, but it's in the 11th house. So she has like a lot of, and her Jupiter is retrograde too. So she has a lot of luck with groups, but maybe she might not feel the luck really. Like she might feel like, oh my God, like I feel like I'm doing a lot, working hard, but she might not feel like the abundance that she has with her groups, her organizations, her friendships. And I feel like even like what I said earlier, if he was to like shit on her, that would be indirectly on her groups, her networks, and their social life. I feel like he would like disgrace her. If she was to like come out and really like say something about their family life, he would try to sabotage the social groups that she's built. Yeah, and plus like Saturn being there, but Saturn's in Libra. Yeah, Saturn's in Libra. She could still feel like restrictions with her groups and organizations. Like it's great. Like she can really foster relationships and foster this like close dynamic, but there's also like a restriction there. She's like she feels like she has to really work at it, work. But she has Mars in the 10th in Libra, or conjoined to Libra, in this like weird interception with Virgo and Libra. Oh, she works really hard. She works really hard. And his lot of fortune is in Libra. So he gets his abundance when he's in partnerships, when he's in dynamics with others. And he has a lot of fortune in his second house. So he has Jupiter here, Saturn here. Like he, even if, and he had retrograde, like he is somebody that he doesn't really feel like he has, there is some self-worth things here. Like he feels like, yeah, okay, people know me. Like I use, like I come into some money, I come into money well, but there also is like some restriction to feeling it, especially with that Chiron and Taurus. Like there's some restriction of feeling seen or feeling validated. Like even he has Taurus squaring off that sun, like Chiron and Taurus squaring off that sun. Yeah, it's like he doesn't feel like worthy enough sometimes. And what's so interesting is that he is a Leo sun, and her lot of fortune, part of fortune is right on his rising. Like she is most fortunate. She comes into the most abundance and money being affiliated with him, being seen next to him, being akin to his likeness. Like even right there, like kind of close to his north node, she benefits off of that. She does. She benefits off of it. And I was thinking earlier, so they have a good sexual chemistry, but there's also some like karmic ties. Like they both have Chiron and Taurus, and his Chiron or her Chiron is in the 6th house. So she doesn't feel valuable. She doesn't feel worthy in her work. It's close to her descendant. She doesn't feel worthy in relationships. She doesn't feel like she has a voice in these relationships or a voice in her dynamic. But with this conjoined together, the same Mercury in this, I mean, the same Chiron in the same sign, this gives me like, yes, we know each other's faults. We can lean on each other. We can support each other. We can heal each other. But it's giving me like trauma bond. Like, oh my God, I don't feel worthy. Oh my God, I don't feel worthy. Oh my God, let's get together and make ourselves one worthy person when really need to be two people who are worthy. I feel like he really leans on her a lot for that emotional stability. Like even the fact that her sun is in his 7th, conjoined to, his Mars. Like he gets that fulfillment by being around her. No wait, the Mars in Aquarius, but he feels that, like he feels affirmed. Like her Mercury in Aquarius conjoined to his Mars, he feels affirmed. Like what he drives towards the sex, he feels affirmed by her. Like I'm sure that she tells him like, oh my God, you're special, you're this, you're great. But then when we look at her house, her 4th house, where she goes to lay her head, it's in Aries, kind of like this Aries Pisces cusp, but there's nothing really cradling that for her. And she has a Gemini moon in the 7th house. So she does really crave relationships. She does really value relationships. She values the closeness of another. But even like, look at this, her 4th house, it's almost close to, why is her IC close to her sun? Like that's a very public, private life. Like I don't know if she was like a nepa baby. I don't really know. I don't know if she was already famous prior to meeting him, and then just the fame catapulted her, but she's never really had the ability to like be in her own private space. Like it's always been open in public. It's always been seen. There's always been some sort of like visibility to her private life, and there's no anchoring for him. Even her seventh is close to his MC. It's in his 10th house, close to his MC. Like she can be there emotionally for him because she's a Pisces in his seventh. Like he values what she embodies, but there's no like anchoring for her. She kind of feels like I'm doing this for him, I'm doing this for us, but mostly for him. And he's like, you can't even do this one little thing, like be obsessed with me, be in love with me. And he's like, no. I'm sure he loves her. I'm really sure that he loves her. But even like, so she has Aquarius Mercury in her third house. And with all this third and sixth house, it's giving me like very familiar energy. Like maybe he reminds her of like a childhood friend or someone that she knew in her upbringing, or like of a sibling. Like the kind of energy that he exudes is very familiar, and she feels very comfortable with that or around that. um yeah, like, the fact that he has a fifth house in Sag, he has a fifth house moon in Sag, directly opposing her moon in Geminis in the seventh house. Like I'm sure that when they have conflict or they have strife, that he approaches it in a very like, you know, Sagittarius is like, oh, let's look at the bigger picture. Let's have this like in the fifth house. He's like, oh, let's not that serious. Let's look at it like this angle. Oh my gosh, and trying to be very optimistic. But Gemini Moon in the seventh, she's like, no, we're gonna have this conversation. We're gonna get to the bottom of this because I need this dynamic to work. I need to make sense. Like Gemini energy, Gemini, when they think, it's very logical. Like they both think logical, but just in different ways. Um, and I'm not saying that Geminis, they don't think in a broader scale, but Geminis are very like, what does this mean to this and this? Like they do smaller parts and like more concise parts to connect the dots. But Sagittarius wants to kind of just think of the whole picture. It kind of sometimes they kind of skip steps in that because they want to see what does all of this make sense together, as opposed to Gemini is like, how do I fit the smaller pieces together and make them make sense? Like how do I build the the synapses in the brain and like make those little things go off? Sure, that they do things differently, they feel things differently, they express their emotions differently, and that can kind of cause a little bit of tension. That can cause a little bit of tension. um yeah, there's a lot of ego on his end. There's a lot of ego on his end, and her just trying to be like the best partner. But especially with the South Node right now is in Libra on her Mars, it's bringing up the ways in which old patterns, old habits, the way that she's moved in the past are affecting her to this day. And it's affecting those relationships since Libra deals with the relationships. Um, and the fact that she has like Mars in the 10th, it'll ultimately directly affect her career. And she has Virgo in the 10th house. And I was looking at this earlier. It doesn't show up on here, but she is a Virgo MC. She's a Virgo MC. And so the Virgo MC is opposing his 7th house. So there could be some like difficulty in the way that their relationship dynamic. I know that when all the news came out about his bender, that they were like working in different places, I feel like there is some tension in like the way that there is like a imbalance of work-life balance for them. Like Virgo MC, like she's gonna be at work, she's gonna be very meticulous and very detail oriented with her career, that maybe she feels like he feels like she's not putting enough into the relationship, like she's not showing up like in the wifely way that he would want her to, and that can cause a little bit of strain. But they both have Earth MC, so they can really help each other balance their careers. Like both of them, I feel like both of their star power exploded when they came together, and they've been together and they've built this like brand as a couple. So that's nice. Um, that's nice. But yeah, I feel like, especially with Pluto and Aquarius touching his Leo Aquarius axis, there's just has to be some changes in the way that he acts. Both of them changes in the way that maybe that's changing the relationship dynamic. Maybe she wants more. Maybe she needs more. Maybe he has to learn how to be a little bit more independent. Independent thinker. He can't really rely on her intellect to like affirm him in his actions. And I mean, I hope them the best. I hope that they work out their differences. Um, and if not, she gonna get her money. She gonna get her kids and her money. He'll be fine. He got money. Um, he'll be fine. But there is like a lot of sweet harmony and harmonious partnership aspects. So, I mean, hopefully love can hold them together and conquer all. But yeah. Um, And what's so interesting is that I have my cards over here. So I wanted to pull a card just to, whoa, it's looking a little crazy, just to see. Oh my God, I hate these ads right over here. But I wanted to see if I want to pull some cards on their relationship just to see. Okay, what is the energy? What is the energy around Justin Timberlake and Jessica Biel's relationship? What is the energy around Jessica Biel and Justin Timberlake's relationship? Okay. What is the energy? Child, all these cards are flying out. What is the energy around Jessica Biel and Justin Timberlake's relationship? Yeah. Ooh! I know y'all saw me caught that. How much time we got? This is 37 minutes, baby. Hell nah. Baby. Actually, I'm gonna do this like side by side. Where did she go? Yeah, that's cute. Okay, what is the relationship dynamic between Justin Timberlake and Jessica Biel? Justin Timberlake and Jessica Biel. What is the relationship dynamic? Okay, I'm gonna just stick with these. Okay. So right away, the Four of Cups came out. So there is some like dissatisfaction with the relationship. Maybe someone's feeling like, I don't know, dissatisfied with the dynamic. They're not feeling like their emotions are being comforted enough, but there is opportunity, but they have to just recognize and pay attention to it. There is opportunity for change and for newness, but there has to be opportunity for them to fully actualize that. And Five of Pentacles, maybe it just deals with money. Maybe just like feeling a sense of lack around money. Maybe it's affecting their dynamic. Maybe they're working more. They're not really being able to put into each other. There's someone feeling lack. There's a lot of like money cards here, like Pentacles, Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, like about money. Like I think there's opportunity in money. There's opportunity and money, but there's also like things moving slow. Things are moving slow with the Seven of Pentacles. Things are moving slow with money, but there is opportunity for growth. There is a sense of healing that needs to be done. But I feel like there is hope. Like, look at another money card. Like, I feel like she is in her bag. I feel like she's in her money bag. She's doing well. But he is just kind of like contemplating, like he's thinking. And this Knight of Cups, like there is an opportunity to have a conversation around emotions. So, and even like Five of Wands came up. There is some fighting. There is some fighting, but I feel like there's a sense of healing that needs to take place and conversations that need to take place around their relationships. But there's an opportunity for change. There's a proposal. There is something new that could be offered to the relationship. And even at the bottom, we have Three of Pentacles. Like, I think they're just having conversations around money. I don't know if they're ending up splitting money. Just a lot of delineation, a lot of contemplation. Let me see. What is the outcome between Justin Timberlake and Jessica Biel? What is the outcome? Justin Timberlake. Ciao. Seven of Cups reversed. I mean, I think we're definitely getting out of some illusionary phase. There's definitely some illusionary aspect that is leaving. But at the bottom, I have the Three of Swords. So someone is feeling hurt. Someone is feeling hurt, and at the bottom, I have the King of Pentacles, but somebody's getting to the money. And then at the Justice, there's some justice that is being served in this relationship after a moment of being in some sort of illusionary, thinking about the options, but not seeing the reality of the situation. Ciao. Ciao cheese. Well, man, I mean, I hope the best for them. If not, I hope the best for her, because justice for Janet. We ain't forget. I'm playing, but yeah, like damn. I mean, I really do hope the best for them. Like, it sucks seeing couples go through. I think all couples, relationships, single, everyone's just going through a change. It's the frequency is changing. The world is changing. It's doing it little by little, especially people who have been in these systems and perpetuated from these systems. You know, they are just getting a wake up call. Like, bitch, people are dying, Kim, and we need it for the better, because I'm like, girl, we all have been kind of under this weird like glamour spell, being obsessed with celebrities, when it's like these niggas are just regular niggas that got some coin and they like do shit for appearances, but all that shit is cracking down. All that shit is cracking down for the better, for the betterment of society, for the betterment of people who don't have a voice, people who are affected. So I'm here for it. I'm here for people, you know, realizing the reality of the situation. You're no better than the next person. We all deserve wealth. We all deserve abundance, because we are all children of God. If you subscribe to God and things like that. I'm not going to force my beliefs onto you. But let's just have one card pull. Let's just set us out. Okay. What should Justin Timberlake be aware of? What should Justin Timberlake be aware of? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's something that's causing him like mental anguish and mental stress that's keeping him up. But ultimately, he has to make a decision. He has to make a decision and he has to work on it. He can't operate in fear, but he has to work on it. But I feel like he is working on it slowly. Whatever that may be, maybe that's counseling, maybe that's healing, but he has to make a decision and act on it. Damn. Sorry, JT. I'm really sorry. I hope y'all good. I hope you're good. Get off them things, child. Get off them things and book a reading with me. Book a reading with me. Um, and I love you, Janet Jackson. I love you so much. And if you enjoyed this, make sure that you comment, like, and subscribe. And you know what to do. If you want to book a reading with me, my email is goldenflamehealing@gmail.com. All right. And that's where all the shenanigans is going to go down. I hope y'all enjoyed. I definitely enjoyed. Let me know if this was accurate, if there's something I missed. I'm always open for correction. And till next time, y'all. Bye.